Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Android Weekly, Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all the latest news that happened during the week and answer your questions live. Now, we have some big news topics to start off with, but definitely the biggest news that happened during this week is Google I/O. So first we're going to be going over Google I/O, then we're going to be going over the latest mobile news, including the big leaks that just happened on two big phones for the remainder of this year. So a lot of news coming up. First, let's get to Google I/O, as I made just a quick bunch of stuff on just what Google I/O revealed. So first and foremost, we have Android O. And so the big three changes to Android O are Fluid Experience, Vitals, and Android Studio Profiles, and Kotlin. So first of all, a couple of things new to Android O. We're going to get picture-in-picture native to apps. Now, you already have this on Samsung. If you have an S8 or an S7, I don't know if the update brought to the S6, but you have pop-up windows. So you already have this essentially in Galaxy phones right now, but for all other phones, you have picture-in-picture basically native to it. So it will fit more properly. How the pop-up window works in Samsung phones is you can minimize the screen to be more of a square than a rectangle on a video. So, but that being said, this is going to make it so that all video players should be able to take advantage of it. Although it looks like developers will still have to make their apps compatible with it. Notification dots, if you haven't had this, it's one of my favorite features on my phone, which I always put on Nova Launcher. So Nova Launcher allows me to have these, but they're called, Apple calls them badges. Basically, they're just dots on telling you what the notifications are. The more beneficial part of this is when you have a dot on your app, you're going to be able to hold it down and then actually get what is on the app. So if I hold down a Gmail notification, right? If I hold that down and it has a notification dot, it will show me the three messages. If it has a 3 on there, it'll show me the 3 emails and the titles of them, so I can just go right to one of them. So that's a pretty interesting feature, and again, just more useful. Autofill on apps, that is a really great one. So if you have autofill on your web browser, because you use Chrome, all of those autofills that you have for sign in on Chrome websites, such as, like, say, my Amazon one, my Twitter account, all of these accounts, I will automatically sign into on their apps. So that's probably one of my favorite features. Second to only Smart Text Selection. So Smart Text Selection is definitely my favorite feature. Now, if you hold down a word in an address, it'll automatically select the entire address. If you highlight a phone number, it'll automatically select the entire phone number. If you highlight, say, a name of like a restaurant, it'll automatically highlight the entire restaurant, city, whatever it is. So that is a really cool feature. I love the Smart Text Select feature. It's probably my favorite one. Google Vitals, just all phones will now come with Google Play Protection. It's going to be a new app that just protects, again, making sure that you don't mess up and download bad software. OS optimizations, of course. Android Studio Profile is kind of on the background of it. That is going to be basically, really the big thing is Kotlin. Kotlin is a really big, it was the biggest thing for developers that they loved at the conference. It's the fact that Kotlin's going to be on Android, and just it's a simple, easy way to develop. Android Go. So Android Go is going to be for probably $50 phones and under $100 phones. It's basically going to be light versions of an app. But the biggest thing about Android Go was it gave us a YouTube version of YouTube that I'm sure everyone would prefer. And that is YouTube that allows you to download videos offline, even if you don't have YouTube Red, which I have YouTube Red, so I download videos offline all the time. But this will allow anyone to download videos offline. Why wouldn't you give this to everyone? I don't understand why it's just for YouTube Go. So that's a really big thing that's coming. All the big things are coming to Android O. Now, what else is coming to Android? Google Assistant. You're going to have Google Lens, which if you have an S8, it's similar to Bixby Vision. So Bixby Vision allows you to scan photos and do stuff with them. Google Lens is essentially the same thing with their assistant. So you're able to take a picture of a flower and it'll tell you what kind of flower it is. You can also take pictures of a restaurant and it'll give you reviews for the restaurant. Things like that. That's the whole idea behind the Lens. Google Assistant is available on an iPhone right now, and you can even put a widget for it so you can swipe over to the left, hit the widget microphone, and immediately launch Google Assistant. Google Assistant is much better than Siri, so I highly suggest if you have an iPhone, definitely get that immediately on your phone because it's going to be way better. And if you ask it to navigate somewhere, it's actually going to use Google Maps to navigate, not Apple Maps, which is worlds better. And then actions on Google Assistant. This is going to be something pretty amazing once we get it. The whole idea is that you can actually take actions and it will save all of your information. So you're going to be able to order the demo they did was order delivery from Panera Bread. So you can actually order Panera Bread and it will deliver to you. You can get the entire order and you can customize your order. Like, oh, I want this salad, but instead of chicken, I want to substitute it for steak. And it got that. It also automatically knows your address and your method of payment because it's saved under Google. So that's a really big thing. The other things that we're going to get is, went the wrong way. Google Home. So Google Home, finally reminders are coming. Google, how have you never given us reminders? So reminders are finally coming to Google Home. Definitely the biggest thing ever. Now, you're also going to get a proactive assistant. So proactive assistant is going to give you the ability to, you're going to see a little a ring go around your Google Home, and that is going to tell you, oh, what's going on, Google? Like, what's up? And Google will then tell you, like, oh, there's been an accident. You should probably leave earlier to get on time to your place. So that's a really cool thing. And it'll do that with flights, traffic delays, or any delays right now for public transportation. For right now, that's it. Hands-free calling, so you'll be able to actually call from your Google Home to any smartphone or any landline in the US for free. So it's starting just with the US right now, but basically it is private calls by default, but then you can then change it, which I don't know if Amazon allows you to do this, but you can change it to your actual cell phone number. So that, like, if I were to call like my mom, it wouldn't need me to, like, my mom wouldn't answer a private call, but she would answer my phone. So that's a really great feature. And what Google said is, again, Google has the ability to, unlike the Echo, which does not have this feature, to actually distinguish between two people. So if I told Google to call my mom, it would call my mom. If my wife told Google to call her mom, it would call her mom. It knows the difference between the two people and knows who to call when which scenarios. So that's a really cool feature. It will finally have Bluetooth speaker support. Right now it only has Wi-Fi speaker support, so it'll also have Bluetooth for any Bluetooth devices. And it's going to have more integration with the home in terms of your smartphone. So if you ask it for directions somewhere, you can say, okay, let's go. And it will then forward those directions to your phone so you don't have to kind of type them in afterward. Also, if you ask Google something and you have a Chromecast or a Android TV like I do, you're going to be able to then see it. So if you ask about the weather, it'll display the weather on your TV. Or if you ask your calendar appointment, it'll display your calendar on the TV. And Google Photos, you're going to have suggest sharing. So suggest sharing, the biggest part about suggest sharing is the ability to actually suggest other people that were taking the photos. So say my friend Richie, right? We take photos, we go out partying and everything, and he's like, hey Rick, send me the photos, and I'm kind of lazy and I don't send it to him. Well, then what will happen is that Google will actually be like, hey, your buddy Richie is going to have, you took photos with him. Do you want to share these photos? And I'll be like, oh yeah, sure. I'll click yes, and it'll automatically give him a link for all those photos so he can download them and he can access them on his Google Photos. So that's a really cool thing. You're also going to be able to do photo books for like $20. I will test this out right now. It's only available online. It will eventually come to the Google Photos app later this year, I believe in the summertime, but Google Photo Books are available now online, $20. I'm going to do this actually with my honeymoon and wedding photos and see how they come out. And Google Lens on photos, again, you will be able to scan things and it will be able to then give you information about those things. So that's really cool. All right, and last part is the VR and AR part. The big thing is Daydream. This thing that is incompatible with pretty much anything right now is coming to the Galaxy S8 and the LG V30. So the LG V30 and the S8 are going to be the two devices that this is compatible with, big flagships, at least as of right now. S8 will be compatible in the summer, and the V30, when it comes out, Google said it will be compatible with it. So that is our first information, by the way, on the V30. As well as Google is investing in standalone devices for VR, and there's going to be two makers of it first, and that is HTC and Lenovo. Those are going to be the first two makers of the two new standalone VR headsets. HTC makes Vive, so very interested to see how this all turns out. All right, and that was the brief recap on Google I/O. If you guys have any questions about that, please let me know in the comments section down below, and I will answer before the end of the show. Just going to take a quick sip of some coffee, and then I'm going to get to the news, including the big two leaks that we got this week. Okay. So, all right. So, there was two big leaks this week, and the first one is from Samsung, and it's a leak of another Galaxy device. Now, we don't know which Galaxy device there is. However, if you have been following me for over a year now, it's been since last October when Samsung themselves publicly stated that there would be a Note 8. Since then, they've stated it two more times, a total of 2 times in Korea and 1 time in the US, that there will be a Note 8. So, is this a phone? We don't know, but it just might be. This blog site is reporting it, though. It's from a different country, and it is showing two big things, and that is that, one, there is no fingerprint scanner on the back, which means what we thought and hoped, and that is that there would be a fingerprint scanner on the screen itself. Now, I long said why this is more likely a possibility with a Note than versus an S series. An S series sells far more. Again, Samsung publicly stated that they were not able to put the fingerprint scanner on the front because it wouldn't have a high enough yield. Now, S series phones tend to sell, as Samsung publicly shares, about 50 million up to phones, right? So that being said, the Note series, as Samsung has publicly stated, often sells anywhere from 10 to 20. So a lot less phones. Again, it gives us the ability to assume that that is why they can do it with this phone and they weren't going to be able to do it with this one. So if that is this an amazing feature that you guys are liking? And by the way, yes, this mold does show 2 cameras as well, which again is a rumored feature. So this is 2 big rumors that this dummy is showing, and I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Dual lenses and fingerprint scanner on the screen. What do you guys think? Would you guys want this to be true, or is this not too big of a deal for you? All right, and then we go to the OnePlus 5, our first images of this device, and guess what? It's finally without the antenna lines. Now, I don't know if this is because of, so if you haven't kept up with, I don't think I covered this actually on the news. So if you haven't heard this from someone else, a couple of weeks ago, Google had everyone, no, I did cover this on a Mobile Weekly about a month ago. And basically Google, Samsung, HTC, LG, and a couple of other companies signed an agreement that everyone can use everyone's patents, kind of to put an end to this whole suing over patents kind of thing, and to allow technology to grow more quickly. Now, the reason why that's so big is because different companies can use other companies' technology. One thing that Samsung had a patent on was the antenna lines not being on here, but being just a little bit on the corners. So it doesn't get in the way of the design as it did on the iPhone and as the HTC, but they had that patented it. So are we seeing the OnePlus is actually using this? Now, the one big downside to this OnePlus showing up like this, though, is that it doesn't look like we're going to get wireless charging. that looks like a metal back phone. And if that is a metal back phone, that means we're not getting wireless charging on the OnePlus 5, which really sucks. I was really hoping for that. I mean, I get it. It's supposed to be no thrills with the OnePlus, just a good, solid Android phone. But I want my wireless charging. So that, for me, the OnePlus 5 already cannot be my daily driver just because of that reason. I need wireless charging. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like the design, first of all? It's dual cameras, dual vertical cameras this time around, and you're also getting the style, it doesn't have the pattern on the back, but I don't know, wireless charging for me is a big thing. So I'm curious to see what you guys think. Do you guys care about wireless charging? And also, if it's not water resistant, will you kind of feel like bummed out by it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And whoops, got a couple of things. Oh, so finishing up on the Android O topic, by the way, Android O is confirmed in late summer. This is really big, guys, because this could mean the Pixel XL2 is coming out in July or August, which is huge because the Pixel XL2 is going to be the first device with Android O. That's just, it's going to be. It has to be. But that would be crazy to believe that they would get. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's what they need to do. Both LG and Google need to get the jump on Samsung and Apple, because Samsung traditionally has always every year come out in August, and Apple has every year come out in September. So if you can get the jump on it and come out in July with the Pixel XL2 and the LG V30, you will actually get sales before Samsung and Apple dominate the market. If we are to believe that this is real, I am really interested in it. It's also interesting to see is, will the next Samsung device, which they already have publicly stated is coming out later this year, will that device come out with Android O, or will it not? Let me know in the comment section down below. Again, what do you guys think about that? I'm very interested. I would be really interested to see if the Pixel XL2 comes out in July. And I'm starting to think that it might. I'm starting to think that the Pixel XL2 might come out in July. And that gets me really interested because I'm excited for a newer phone to come out before all the big things we expect to come down. So that would be so interesting to me. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think? And let's undo all these. Okay, S8 has crossed 5 million units sold. Publicly, Samsung stated this, that it has done over 5 million units as of, when was it? Official. No, it did not. It just said obviously that it has not come out to. It obviously aims to come out to more countries, as it has not come out in countries like China, and it plans to come out in over 120 by the end of this year. Now, this is market analysts are viewing Samsung is going to sell 20 million units of the S8 by the end of the second quarter, which is crazy to think that you're going from 5 million to 20 million in just a few months. So that's really interesting. It's really interesting to see too, because Apple had a good Q1, right? For the first quarter of this year, Apple really did well. How are they going to do now that Samsung released a phone? Are they going to go down? Are they going to stay steady? What's going to happen? I'm really curious to see how Apple's sales are going to get hit by the S8, because quite frankly, I think it's one of the best phones out, if not the best phone currently out in the market. Now, experts are saying that they will not see a Samsung bendable phone anytime soon. A Samsung official said for Samsung display researcher, so a Samsung display researcher said that they are focusing on enhancing full screen technology and are not pointing towards bendable technology until 2019, which would be a huge difference. And it would be a bummer if we see no, of a different bendable phone, which I've been waiting for forever from Samsung. But hey, if the Note 8 comes out and it's the big thing that Samsung has stated, we'll see. But I'm really interested to see of what will happen with that. But as of right now, they're working on more edge-to-edge display instead of that, according to the Samsung display researcher. And Apple has granted a patent for a bezel-free display and inline screen Touch ID. So what does that mean? It means that they eventually want to be able to have Touch ID sensors on the bars of the phone so that you can just go like this and it will get one of the fingerprints. Now that is a small surface area to get scanned, so I'm curious to see how that'll end up coming about. But it's curious to see how that'll work in the future. I think it's further in the future, definitely, because you're going to need a display that curves all the way around to do that, and obviously Apple just hasn't gotten there yet. The Honor 9 announcement date is set for June 27th. Now, the Honor 8 was an amazing phone. We loved Huawei's phones that we got to review. I cannot wait to see the next Honor device because that is a really big one. And they're teasing that it's set up for low light photography, which, as you know, is always a struggle for more mid-range phones in that price point. The Honor 8 was one of the best smartphones you could buy for under $500. And it's really curious to see how it'll do this year with that budget phone market. And finally, Samsung is going to bring, and already has brought, Bixby to certain refrigerators. So the whole idea about this is that Samsung, has refrigerators. They have dishwashers, they have ovens, they have washing machines, they have dryers. All these things that have a lot of smart technology built into them. How will this all work out with their Bixby? Are all these things going to have Bixby eventually? I'm really curious to see how it goes. Alright guys, that was all the mobile news that happened this week. Now I'm going to get to your questions. So if you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below and I will answer it before the end of the show. Whew, it is a little hot in here. Alright. Alright, and let's get to the questions. Not too many questions. Again, if you're watching this live, ask any question in the comment section down below, and I will answer before the end of the show. Hey Ricky, what do you think about the HTC U11 compared to the S8? Do you think it's a good camera as DxO Mark says it have? Or do you think it's a better camera than the S8? I, for one, cannot wait to review the HTC, I'm so used to HTC U11. I have reached out to HTC several times. Unfortunately, we have not heard back from their PR. So I'm going to ask you guys to do, I know I always ask you guys to do this, but please, if you can just get on your social media and tag me right there at the YouTube Tech Guy. And tag HTC, be like, hey, please send the YouTube Tech Guy the HTC U11. We really want to see his review on it. We want to see his comparisons. We want to see how good is this phone. And I would love to review it for you guys. So hopefully we'll hear from them. We have not heard from them yet. Ricky, I'm new to Android, just got the S8 Plus. What's the difference between app shortcuts and swipe down apps? So when you swipe down to get all of your apps, that's called the app drawer. It's where all of your apps always are. No matter what you do, the apps are going to be there unless you hide them. But so all the apps are there. I recommend, if you're new to Android also, hit the sort button so you can sort them to alphabetical order so your life is much easier and you know where all your apps are without having to search for them. That being said, shortcut apps are, I'm guessing you mean, it depends on what you mean. You must mean most likely a widget or a way to use an app that's a shortcut. So for instance, an app with a call icon is a direct call app. So that goes into contacts. It uses the contacts app, but it uses it to directly call someone. So I have 8 of those or 6 of those on my phone for the 6 people I call most often. You know, my wife, my best friends, my brother, my mom, all those people. Right, the people that I call most often, my dad, everyone right there, so I can call them right away. So that would be an app shortcut as opposed to the app drawer. Hopefully that helps. And widgets are a whole nother thing. So yeah. How do you think the Note 8 will cost retail? And also, how do you think it will be every month at T-Mobile? I am honestly not sure. My thing is always that I believe that manufacturers traditionally price them at the same price, but we have no idea what Samsung will price any of their phones, so I won't pretend to know. Did you know there are already rumors on the LG V30? I have not really heard many rumors on LG V30 other than the first indication that we got from Google at Google I/O, where they stated that the Daydream will work on the next LG phone that's coming out later this year, which is the V30. What kind of headphones would you need to listen to high-res 24 DAC audio music on the S8? Would Beat Studio headphones be decent enough? I don't know if Beat Studios has a higher DAC, to be honest. I don't believe so. The headphones that actually come with it, the AKG headphones, do support the DAC, so you actually will get it. But do Beat Studios... let's see. No. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. So unfortunately, I can't find it right away. I would ask, personally, I would ask that gadget guy, Juan Carlos Bagnell from Pocket Now Studio. I believe it's that gadget. Um, some gadget guy. So ask at some gadget guy on Twitter, Juan Carlos Bagnell, and I'm sure he'll be able to answer it. He knows a lot more about audio than me, so that's where I would direct your message. I want to buy a projector. Can you tell me which one is good to buy and have? Honestly, I don't know too much about projectors. The main thing is the luminous and how long is your projector bulb covered. Because those, for one, the luminous is the most important thing. How bright can it get is the most important thing for a projector. And you know, most projectors that are under $1,000 aren't that bright. So that's the biggest thing about it. Then you want to make sure, of course, that it can do 1080p. Most projectors are 720p under $500. There are some that are 1080p, but far in between. So those are the two biggest things that I would recommend looking at. Of course, you would want an HDMI if able to. DisplayPort's great, but I feel HDMI would just be easier for traveling, so you don't always need to rely on having an adapter. But that would be my recommendation for projectors. But I knew like Epson was good a while back, but I just don't know too much about projectors to be able to tell you exactly like which one to get. But those are my things: is check out the luminous first. Then once you have the luminous, then you can check the resolution. Those are the two biggest things you want to look at. That's really the main thing. If it has Bluetooth, if it has cache sharing or something like that, that's all good and everything like that. But the biggest thing is first you want those things because those are your basics. I think a lot of projectors nowadays are more about like, oh, it has Bluetooth, it has a Wi-Fi connection, it can do things on its own, but it's a really bad projector quality. So that's my the things that I would look for if I was looking for a projector. Um, Echo or Google Home? I would go with Google Home. The way it's going, Google is catching up quickly to Echo, and by the end of the year, I think that Google Home will definitely make a statement on why it's way better than Echo. Is there a glitch in YouTube? Because I noticed different videos of YouTubers cut off short at the end, even some of your videos. I have noticed that too. It's more along the lines because of autoplay. So if autoplay is set, it kind of cuts off sometimes the last 5 seconds of a video. So yeah, that's what I've noticed. Which is fine for me because I think our ending slide goes for 11 seconds. So even if it cuts off at 5 seconds, it should still be fine. But I have noticed that glitch as well. I don't know why though. Is LG ever going to make VR on phones other than the G5? They didn't do well with that one with the Friends thing with the LG G5, so I don't really know if they're that much of in a hurry to do another VR headset. I'm sure it's in the works, but I would be more curious about their LG robots that we saw at CES coming out later this year. Is the LG V20 ever going to get Android in the future? I'm assuming you mean Android 7.0, but it has Android 7.0. Or do you mean Android O in the future? And it will get Android O in the future, my guess would be, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what LG will support for their phones, but more than likely the V20 would still get Android O, but it's probably not going to get it till the end of this year or beginning of January, in my opinion. If that. Google Home, Spotify built in. Is Google Music built in as well? Because that's what I use. Yes, Google Music is built into Google Home. Actually, the paid for version of Spotify has always been built in, along with Pandora, along with other cloud applications for music. It's just Spotify free version was not built in, and that was the big announcement that they announced for Google Home would also be built in. But yeah, if I say, hey Google, play. I got that.
Nothing's playing right now.
Hey Google, play. I got that feeling by Justin Timberlake.
Sure, Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake. Here it is on Google Play Music.
And that's how it would work. And it's not using my phone. Hey Google, stop. Before we get a strike. So that's how it works. Whoa, sorry, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. When will updates come to the Google Home? Unfortunately, Google just said these updates will come this year. So not all of them will come at once. They're going to be rolling out. The big one I'm waiting for, of course, is, hey Google, set a reminder.
Sorry, create reminder is not yet supported.
What the fuck? That's the one I'm really waiting for. That is the one I cannot wait for. What kind of cup are you using? It's just a regular cup, got off of Amazon. Nothing special. Good though. How do you add the Daydream function to the S7 7.0? Daydream is not available for for the Galaxy S7. It's never been available for any Samsung phone. It's actually only been available, if I'm not mistaken, for Lenovo, Moto, and the Pixel phones and the Nexus phones, and that's it. Which is why no one buys Daydream, because it almost doesn't work on any device. OnePlus 5 going to be expensive this year. I think it'll be the same price, quite frankly, but because honestly, From what I've seen, I don't give it a reason to be more expensive. If they don't have waterproofing and wireless charging, there's no reason for them to be more expensive. If they were to have both of those and add $50, I would pay it. When will Galaxy S8 get 7.1? I'm not sure. Samsung has made no statements about when that update will come. Although I don't really see it as that useful, to be quite honest. But I don't know. Is there really a difference between dual vertical cameras versus horizontal? Do you have a preference? So the reason why vertical is better is it is more easily for the bokeh effect, the blurring out the background and having the background blurred and the foreground clear, the portrait mode as it were that Apple always talks about. That is better for vertical lenses. The horizontal is better ideally for you shooting with why can't I think of it right now? How else would you shoot? You would shoot wide angle. For wide angle, the horizontal would be better than the vertical. Here's the problem with that. Our phones go vertical and horizontal. So while portrait mode would still be better if you shoot like this for your vertical lenses, as soon as you tilt it, well, then what happens? See, when you tilt it over this way, then those vertical lenses are horizontal. So it doesn't really make too much of a difference, to be honest. You're going to be taking them vertical and horizontal. But ideally, you blur out the background more often in vertical portrait mode, or at least that's what Apple thinks. But yeah, not too much of a way. Google is fighting to be number one since Samsung took over. What do you mean Google is fighting to take number one? Number one in terms of what? They'll never do it in smartphones. But I'm really curious to what do you mean? In terms of voice assistant, I mean, they're still probably the best voice assistant out there. I just broke my screen on the Galaxy S8 Plus. I am sorry. Gorilla Glass my ass. Instead of paying $200 for a replacement, I'll wait for the Note 8. Well, one thing you should know, I'm guessing $200 for a replacement means that you're going to get it from your carrier, which is fine. But if you take it to any repair center, there is one thing you guys should always know about repair centers for Samsung smartphones. I always recommend getting it done by the carrier or by Samsung, or else you lose the waterproofing. The third-party technicians do not make it waterproof. They have to reseal everything to certify it for waterproofing, and they do not. So that's one thing you should always know. If you get it fixed, that's a big thing that you should always remember. How you drop it, dude? What did I drop? Is there any way to disable Bixby? No. Still waiting on Bixby Voice on the S8. How much longer? Unfortunately, Samsung has not said anything about when Bixby Voice will be coming out, so we have no idea. Did LG ever send you a review unit? No, they didn't. I reached out to them again to try to, but yeah. Thoughts on the Galaxy Tab Pro? The Galaxy Tab Pro, the 3-year-old tablet. Oh, no. Or do you mean the Tab Pro S? The Tab Pro S. They're like a laptop tablet that got replaced by the Galaxy Books. Which one do you mean? Unfortunately, Samsung has called a lot of things Tab Pros because they had the Tab Pro S and then they had the Tab Pros 3 or 4 years ago. They were like a 12.2 inch and a 10.1 inch. And yeah, those were the two versions. I really liked the Tab Pro series. It was a really great series. But then when the Tab S series came out with an OLED display, that was just so much better. And now since we've had 2 OLED displays on the Tab S and the Tab S2 and the Tab S3, if my friend, my editor actually got a Tab S2 8-inch for like under $200. So that was that. I mean, they're really inexpensive now. What's the biggest feature on the Note 8? Well, we do not know any feature on the Note 8 yet, so we'll have to wait and see what that feature will be. Those were two rumored stuff, but we don't know. Good afternoon, Ricky. Which text message app do you use? So the main text message app I use is Hangout, but that's not a text messaging app. That's an instant messaging app. So anyone that I have their Gmail and they have my Gmail, we can instant message. I do that because I always have multiple phones all the time, and with that, I can always message people from whatever phone I'm on. So it's really important to me for Hangouts. I do that with about 4 of my friends and my wife. However, for regular text messaging, I still do that with my brother, with my mom, with people, with other people that just don't use Hangouts. I still text message them on the regular text messaging app. I don't download a third-party one. I'm just waiting for Allo to have text messaging built into it, so I can use that and have a web client, and then it'll actually be useful instead of the garbage that it currently is right now. Samsung is in another league. They aren't worried about the Pixel 2. Only tech enthusiasts know and care about it. But here's the thing. It's more if the Pixel 2 gets a jump on it, that will people actually try the Pixel 2 and then maybe, not think about the Note. Maybe not think about the iPhone. They will not think about the next Galaxy and the next iPhone because they're so like, wow, the Pixel 2 is amazing. That is what releasing it early has a chance to do. You sell more because it's the best one currently out. So say if you broke your phone, you have to get a new phone. You might get the Pixel 2 instead of waiting for the next Samsung phone or the next iPhone later coming out. How much screen body ratio is on the S8 Plus? I forgot that. I want to say it's about 80 something. Screen to body ratio on the Samsung S8. I want to say it's exactly 80%. Damn it. Let's see if Google knows the answer. Hey Google, what's the screen to body ratio on the Galaxy S8?
Sorry, I'm not sure how to help.
Damn it. Oh, I found it. 84%. 84.26% to be exact. Oh, there you go. See, Tom helped me out. Tom, you're awesome. 84%. Good afternoon. Oh, yeah. What difference between the old Samsung battery pack and the new one that came out with the S8? The new one has a Type-C connection. The old one did not. Also, the new one has like a little handle thing. We have a review coming out for a new battery pack that I started to use. And it has the same thing that the Samsung one has. And it's basically like a little hook like this. So that's one thing that the new S8 has. Not the S8. The Samsung battery pack has as well. It's so you can hook it very easily onto your backpack or anything like that. And then when you need to, you just pop it out. Well, this one can. It can just pop out the Type-C connection or pop out the USB connection, whatever you need right then and there. Quincy says Epson has the best projector still. Again, that's what I knew before when I was studying projectors a while back, but yeah. If Type-C cord is the future, would you like it to replace HDMI cables and ports? Yeah, I would. I would like Type-C to replace that eventually. I haven't had an iPhone since the iPhone 4, but I'm looking forward to make the switch. I think iOS is winning. Winning in what aspect? What do you mean by winning exactly? Because as far as like voice assistant technology goes, Android has Google Assistant, which now you have on your iPhone as well, and that's far better than Siri. In terms of ecosystem, Apple still is probably the most tight knit ecosystem out there. But in terms of winning, in terms of like popularity, Apple will never win. Apple is less than 20% of all smartphones out there. So, no, it's not even close, and it never will have a chance to win. Android is the dominating force around the world. For some reason, my selective focus on the S8 Plus keeps saying that the object is not detected. Do you know how to fix it? Try resetting your camera app. Go into Settings, then go to Applications, then go to the Camera app, and in it, you should be able to clear data under Storage, and that will allow you to reset the app to how it is out of the box. For the camera app, it doesn't delete any of your photos, but hopefully that'll help you, and that will make it work. When Samsung is going to release LTE version of the Tab S3, it's up to carriers. Carriers have to buy it. I'm not sure if there's already an LTE version of the Tab S3 overseas yet. There might be, but at least not in the US. I'm actually curious on that now. Let's see. Let's just do a quick search. Galaxy Tab S3 LTE. Yes, so there is a Galaxy S Tab S3 LTE version you can buy right now. For $7.99 on Amazon. It is an LTE unlocked version available right now. So they do already make it, but just not in the US. Oh, actually for $7.39. Any lower? Nope, $7.39. So for $7.39 right now, you can get a Samsung Galaxy Tab S3 LTE variant. It might be on their website too. I just checked Amazon really quickly, but just so you know. Whoa, more questions. For some reason, oh, already answered that one. Thoughts on the Galaxy Tab Pro? Yeah, again, I would say they were great for their time, but that was again, I don't know how long ago that was. So I think you mean the Tab Pro S, which again was last year's model, which the Galaxy Book is much better than that version now. What's the difference between Google Home and Google Assistant? Google Home is this. This is Google Home. This is a Google Home, which has Google Assistant built into it. However, Google Assistant is also on my phone. Google Home is not on my phone. Google Assistant is. Google Home is here. Google Assistant is everywhere. No, it's Google Assistant is the voice assistant for both of these two devices, but this is a Google Home. That's the difference. Ricky, are you going to install Android O beta on the S8? I will not install it on the S8. I am thinking about installing it on my Pixel XL. I just have to download the software. Do you think the S7 Edge is still a good phone? The S7 Edge is a great phone, absolutely. Best Android Wear 2.0 watch. I think right now it would be the Huawei Watch 2. However, we have not gotten the review units. I have been waiting for that, but that's really what I'm waiting for to see, because that's the one I hear is the top one right now. But honestly, for the most part, most of them are the same. It's the look that's the difference. Is Google Home being a bee tonight? Well, you know, Google Home. Although, if you do remember this, I do have a video on how to do this. Hey Google Home. Hey Google, shut up.
No, you shut up before I delete your hard drive.
All right. ZT Axon 7 does have Daydream. Yes, that's true. Thank you, Troy, for pointing that out. Will there be another update for the S8 Plus soon? And what will it be for and when? No idea. Android 7.1 is still not on there. As you've seen, people have asked about that. I do not know, though. All of the Note 8 concepts have dual rear cameras. There's even one with a built-in speaker on the S Pen. Reasonable thoughts? I do not think you're going to have a speaker on S Pen, because the whole idea behind the S Pen is that it does not need a battery. You know, these pens do not need a battery. As soon as you put something smart in there, it's going to need a battery, and you're going to need to charge it, and what the hell. Have you dropped your phone yet? Did your case protect it? I have dropped my phone a couple times, and my cases have protected them. The last one that I put on was the Tech 21 case. However, I dropped it when I had the UAG case on there. So yeah, it protected it. And we have another one which we're going to drop the phone to. It's going to be a Griffin case that we got. It's supposed to be really protective. So we're going to drop the phone on concrete, and hopefully it'll be okay. Will the OnePlus ever come with any major carriers? I don't believe so. When did they move Bendable back? Is it because of the S8 success? I'm not sure. Again, this was an interview with a Samsung display researcher. So, I mean, I would believe what he said, but we'll see. I mean, it could be people higher than him that know more. It could be people, you know, maybe he's not allowed to say anything. We do not know. Will Google fix its messaging problem? According to I/O, no. Google I/O did nothing to fix the messaging problem. Messaging is still a mess in Google, and they need to fucking get on it. Did you watch Backlash, and did you beat Injustice 2 game? I did not watch Backlash. I will try to see the review and the recap afterward, after I record this. However, I did beat Injustice 2 game. I have thought about doing, let me know what you guys think in the comment section right now. I've thought about doing an Injustice 2 story review. So not the game itself in terms of the mechanics of fighting game, but just in terms of like reviewing the game in terms of a singles mode or a campaign, or you know, a campaign mode or something like that. Thinking more along those lines, because I'm not an expert on online. I love fighting games, so I'm not the best at them. But I'm thinking about doing that for this game, and also for Tekken 7 when it comes out in 2 weeks, as I've prepared that one as well. So let me know what you guys think. Isn't the default text messaging app instant messaging? No. Instant messaging only uses data, and not text messaging. It does use MMS, which does go over data, and it needs regular data, not Wi-Fi. But that's wherein lies instant messaging is different. Instant messaging can go over Wi-Fi, any kind of data, whereas text messaging, even MMS, needs internet carrier, not internet from a Wi-Fi. If that makes sense. Is the PS4 better than Xbox One? What are your thoughts on Project Scorpio? Better is subjective, right? Currently, is the PS4 better than Xbox? Well, yes, but Project Scorpio hasn't come out yet, so that's kind of like irrelevant in my opinion. However, is it a console that developers develop more for? Yes. Developers develop more for PlayStation 4 far beyond what they do for Xbox. Not only that, but developers develop for PS4 and then port over to Xbox, meaning that the PS4 will have less bugs compared to the Xbox version, and it'll always look better on the PS4 compared to Xbox. Can that change with Project Scorpio? Yes, it can, and that's what Project Scorpio hopes to do. I would like to see the fingerprint scanner on the screen. I would as well. I will try the Pixel 2 when it's not $700. I know, right? Will you review the iPhone 8? I will review the next iPhone, although it will not be called the iPhone 8. It'll be called the iPhone X or the Apple phone or something along those lines. iPhone 8 will come out next year. And we have an entire video on that if you want to see why under Tech Rants. Tech Guy Rants. Okay, just sent you 2 emails on the V30. Got it. I will look at those. How much does putting QHD Plus on the SA Plus affect the battery life? I would say probably about an hour or so. I do put it to full 10. I just put it to 1080p to be honest most of the time. But when we did our battery test, that was on QHD and it still lasted a long time. I'm on my second S7 Edge. When my original updated to Nougat, it was having a huge lag issue. AT&T sent me a replacement, came with Nougat, still having troubles. Thoughts? Um, I'm not sure. I mean, Nougat has created problems, to be honest. I mean, wait. It's Yeah, it's Nougat. Yeah, Nougat has created problems. To be honest, I liked Marshmallow much better. I told everyone when I had the S7 Edge because I was a beta tester for Samsung. I got on that beta program, and when I did, the Nougat just sucked. It just sucked. It was horrible compared to the regular one. So yeah, I told everyone, I'm like, you want Nougat now, but when you get it, you're gonna hate it. And I was right. I mean, everyone I knew that upgraded the S7 to Nougat hated it. So yeah, I mean, for me, I'm like, oh my god, people are like, when am I gonna get Android 7.1? When am I gonna get Android O? I'm like, you don't want it. The hardware is not designed for it. Just you don't want the update. You do not want the update. Still got to do that tech for hand video on that. When is the OnePlus 5 release date? We do not have a release date on it yet. We can't expect it this summer, though, from what we're hearing. Did you see the... No, I did not see the game for the Celtics and the Cavaliers. Do a review on Injustice 2, alright. Hey, Ricky, I cleared my camera app and the data in the cache. Selective focus still doing the same thing. Do you think I should reset my device? I don't think it's that necessary, but if you do reset your device, back everything up onto Samsung Smart Switch. So if you go to your PC or Mac, you can actually download Samsung Smart Switch onto your computer, back everything up onto your from your phone to your computer, back it up on there, then reset it. Then you can restore it, so at least you won't lose that much if you do want to reset your device. Another thing is just have a Samsung technician help you out for free. Download the Samsung Plus app, and you can talk to a Samsung technician, and they can take a look and see exactly what setting you need to change in order for it to work. S8, wait for the Note 8, OnePlus 5. I have a OnePlus 3T. We'll have to wait till the new phones come out to do that. I would say the S8 is better overall compared to the OnePlus 3T, but the OnePlus 3T should tide you over till the next phones. What is the best Android smartwatch to go with the S8? The best Android smartwatch, not the Gears, because the Gear S3 I would say is the best smartwatch to go with the S8. I would say that would again be the Huawei Watch 2. I think it's just the latest and greatest, and currently the best one to get. Any rumors on the Gear S4? No. Gear S series, or the Gear series, typically comes out with every second half phone. So whether that be a Note or something else, that is when we expect the Gear series, as that's the usual time it comes out in August or September, whenever it rolls out, basically. What is the best Android? Oh yeah, we already answered that. What are recommendations on wireless backlit mouse? You know, I'm not too big of a fan of wireless mouse, the backlit ones anyway. Don't get me wrong, Razer mice are really good. I have one that I did review on for Razer, but my favorite is still the Logitech MX Master. To me, that's the best mouse out there by far. And the MX Anywhere is the best laptop mouse you can get, and it's so good. It's so versatile. The fact that I can pair this with my desktop, my laptop, and my tablet just by clicking a 1, 2, 3 button, it's awesome. I mean, it's accurate. The buttons are customizable. It just feels premium, way better in my opinion. Do you have a spinner? I do not have those fidget spinners. I thought about doing a review. I saw this really cool arc reactor one. I'm like, oh, well, that is one I would... it would have to be geeky for me to get a spinner, but I don't see the point of them too much. I'd rather fidget with my phone than fidget with a fidget. So, yeah. Should I buy the Galaxy S8 or wait for the OnePlus 5? I don't know, because we don't know what the OnePlus 5... For me, if the OnePlus 5 doesn't have wireless charging or water resistance, that would be a deal breaker for me. It might not be for you, though. So, yeah. Why can't the Note be a 4K but ship in 1080p? Please, Samsung. We'll see. Have you gotten an update on your prototype SA Plus? If yes, is it better before the update? I've not done the update. I can manually do it now, but I just haven't had the time to. So I will check that out. My SA Plus had the red tint on the edges, and the update fixed it. Did yours have a red tint? No, mine never did have the red tint, but I had heard that did happen to a lot of people. And obviously Samsung heard that too, so they pushed out the update. Best Android tablet. How much should I get the Tab S3 for? The Tab S3 normally goes at, I believe, $599 or $499. I forget, around that price. So yeah. Okay, so how is it on the S8 Nougat? And thanks. Wait, what was that a follow up to? So Nougat for my S8 works perfectly actually because it was designed for it, and Samsung did a lot of software tweaks to the S8 to make Nougat much better than the Nougat version on the S7. So yes, on this it works great, but it didn't work that great on the S7. But yeah, on this it works awesome. No lag on there. Thoughts on the Sony XZ Premium? Please review it. Unfortunately, I have never heard back from Sony. They have gone through a couple different PR companies, and I believe that's why. One PR company was all gung-ho to send me stuff, and that was about a year and a half ago. And then Sony went with another PR company, so I've not been able to get a hold of them since. So yeah, they never heard back from Sony on reviewing their devices. Although it's not a big seller. Sony, to be honest, should get out of the mobile game and just make PlayStation mobile games for Android. That would be game changer. They would be making money hand over fist like Nintendo is right now with their Super Mario Run. Like, Sony has the ability to get PlayStation games, PlayStation 1 games, PlayStation 2 games, get all these games on there, and they would just make so much money. Just make so much money. Make the PS4 controller work Bluetooth to every Android device, and they'll do it. What was it? What is the best Android tablet in general? The best Android tablet, I mean, it's subjective. I would say the Tab S3 probably is the best Android tablet currently right now in the market, but we haven't really had any great Android tablets for a while now. The tablet market just really isn't being focused on because it's not making money. I'm having issues on my LG V20 because of Nougat. My phone has been lagging and showing it off, and sometimes, or shutting itself off maybe, and watch it that the loudspeaker would completely go out. It works fine with the next day. Man, everything tech, that's crazy. Yeah, man. Again, Nougat had a lot of issues, and I kept telling people you do not want Nougat. But yeah, Nougat had a lot of issues with when it updated on old phones. Will the OnePlus 5 be on Verizon? It will. It might work for Verizon, but it will not be sold through Verizon. No. What will replace Wi-Fi? What will replace Wi-Fi? I mean, Bluetooth 5.0 is really big, but I don't know if anything will ever replace Wi-Fi. Bluetooth 5.0 is a really big update to a wireless technology, but I don't know if we will ever replace Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is just really good as a standard, so yeah, I don't know. Do you believe in moving the headphone jack and moving it in the right direction? Or removing the headphone jack. I'm guessing you meant removing the headphone jack is moving in the right direction. I do believe so, actually. I believe removing the headphone jack is the right way to go because Type C will give a much better audio out than, I mean, it is no matter what. It is an analog technology versus a digital technology. But the problem is no headphone manufacturer makes Type C headphones right now. So that's the big thing that we have to have before we get it to say that it's amazing. is the Note 8 confirmed? I got told by AT&T person that they're not going to have one. So again, Samsung has publicly stated in Korea twice and stated in the U.S. once at CES that there will be a Note 8. So they have stated it. Yes, a person at AT&T wouldn't know shit about it, to be honest. So yeah, like no carrier would know. I mean, I doubt most Samsung employees even know. But Samsung themselves has publicly stated it multiple times. However, they've not said when it's launching. Samsung did just recently state, though, publicly that there will be a new Samsung device coming out later this year. So if you put two and two together, then yeah, but who knows? I mean, Samsung is a company, which means they can always change their mind about whatever they want. So yeah. Um, will the Note 8 compete directly with the iPhone 8? Again, the iPhone 8 will not come out this year. It'll come out next year, but you're referring to the iPhone X or Apple phone or whatever they call it. The iPhone 7S, 7S Plus, and the iPhone X will be coming out this year, not the iPhone 8. No matter what your tech reviewer tells you. How would you think the Note 8 would fare against the iPhone 8, though? I mean, how will it fare against... I mean, those are the two biggest smartphone sellers always. We'll have to see what they both bring to the table, really. What will they bring to the table to look and stand out? I think Apple not having the curved display will hurt them in terms of design compared to Samsung, because I think Samsung has a better edge-to-edge display compared to the G6, which Apple's phone is going to be designed like the G6, if you didn't hear already. We've covered that a couple weeks back. Do you think Samsung will release any more software updates for the Gear S2? I doubt very few of them. PhotoDilius might replace Wi-Fi at 18 gigabits per second, but it's slower than light frequency at 222 gigabit. But it can ban through. So here's the thing with that. With these different frequencies technologies, for it to become a standard, you're talking about 10, 15 years, 20 years maybe for these to become standards. Because, I mean, Wi-Fi's been around for, what, 20... a little over 20 years maybe, but not that much longer. I mean, Wi-Fi wasn't around too much longer. It was in the late 90s, I would want to say. But yeah, I mean, all these technologies. So that's 20 years, right? Before Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth was, I want to say, out around that time too. So, but yeah, in the next 20 years from now, I mean, these standards are going to be completely different. As long as the option for charging smartphones while listening to music with one Type-C connection is the only reason I stop support audio right now. Well, with Samsung, you can wirelessly charge your phone and you could listen to a Type-C headphone. So that is the feature you can do, is you can wirelessly charge while connecting your Type-C connection. But yeah, actually people have stated that. Well, if they want to do it that way, and get rid of the headphone jack, then give us two Type-C connections. Which, yeah, why not? Why not have a Type-C connection on the bottom and the top? Just saying. I'm torn between my heart and my head. I'm deciding between the HTC U11 or the S8. Advice, I've seen the camera comparisons between the two. HTC wins handily. I've seen them too. I would not say HTC wins handily. I would say they're very comparable though. I'm really kind of curious. I really want to use the HTC, but so far it looks very promising. I don't know if they're gonna have as much to be able to do there though. In terms of being able to do everything. Do you think there's a decent amount of Samsung staff using iPhones and vice versa? I think that's very dangerous. I think if you work for a company, like if I'm an Apple employee, right, and I have a Samsung phone, ooh, I think that's a very I'm sure vice versa that would not be a good thing. So I'm curious. I don't know. I would think that would be a very bad thing though. What do you think about Apple iPhone rumors? I think we know for the most part what we're getting with the iPhone. I think in terms of the iPhone, we're going to get, with the iPhone X, we're going to get a glass backing, a 5.2 inch active display, with a 5.8 inch full display, but that bottom zero point 0.6 will be the active zone where you're going to have your fingerprint scanner hopefully on there, or else the fingerprint scanner will be on the back. It'll have wireless charging, it'll have waterproofing, and that's what we're going to get. Um, what is a good charger to use my V20 on? I need another charger, and I can get it. What brand? Anchor is really good. I would recommend them, or LG themselves too. But Anchor is really good for chargers. I really like them. I did review my favorite micro USB. If you look at my channel on the best micro USB cable, this is fully reversible, so it's really great. Did the V20 have a Type C charger though? I'm trying to remember. V20 LG V20 charger. I feel like that was still micro USB, wasn't it? Or was that Type C? No, it was Type C. Oh, then Type C. That Samsung charger that I actually got was really good. I'm going to be reviewing a couple of Type C chargers though. I got a couple of different adapters that I'm going to be like my recommendation for Type C phones, cables for Type C phones. So that will be coming soon. Note 8 better not be the bomb. Lol, lol, lol. Is there any way I could change the color of the edge lighting on the S8 Plus? No, you can no longer change the color. I only found that out this week. Samsung took that feature away, apparently. HTC is dead. HTC needs to do a lot for it to be a successful phone. The U11 is amazing, but if they don't push marketing hard and good marketing, not I still can't believe HTC had Robert Downey Jr. and they didn't have one good commercial. Ugh. Ugh. What is a good phone cover for the Droid 2 Turbo? Unfortunately, I do not use the Droid 2 Turbo, so I'm not sure. But I always do like, Tech 21, spec cases. I love Incipio, having that on one of my phones right now. UAG is really good, so there's a lot of good cases out there. HTC got the Uh-Oh program replacing a phone. Yes, that is a great feature of the HTC program. It's something that everyone else should do. HTC will replace your phone if you break it. Freaking awesome. Alright guys, any other questions before we head out? We just did do the intro, by the way. So if you guys haven't seen, we did an intro for the YouTube Tech Guide channel. So we just posted that. So that's really cool. Hopefully that'll be a really great one. But yeah, definitely really good. Hope your day is going well. Did you get the link in the email? I haven't checked the email yet. Let me see. Yes, I did get. Oh wait. Oh, are you talking about from last week? I think you're talking about from last week, Quiet Storm, on the Dragon Ball Z Super. Yes, but it's not out yet, so I got immediately happy and then immediately sad. Why doesn't... I would buy it right now if it would be available. But yeah, it's not coming out till July 25th, which I'm super kind of bummed out about, but yeah. What the heck, man? What the heck? But yep, that's what looking at right now. All right. Have you seen a normal S8 have another settings menu over the S8 Plus? No. No, I've only seen one S8 settings menu. Have you heard about the new T-Mobile Jump program? No, how did they change it? How I wish Samsung could buy HTC as their budget-focused phones unit, while Samsung could concentrate on the premium models. That would be awesome. I would love Samsung to buy HTC. That would be a really good purchase, actually, in my opinion. What game console do you use? Xbox or PS Pro or PS Pro other than Nintendo Switch? So currently, right now, I have a PlayStation 4 and I have a Nintendo Switch. I've never been a fan of Xbox, just in my opinion. I believe they are the better entertainment console, but in my opinion, the better gaming console is clearly PlayStation because developers develop more for it. And yeah, that's the main thing about it is that they develop more for PlayStation. PlayStation is easier to develop for from what we've heard from developers. So yeah, I would say that PlayStation is the better console currently right now for developers. If Scorpio changes that, we will see. But if I wanted to play any Xbox game, I can play it on my high end desktop. Xbox games I can play on a desktop, whereas PlayStation exclusive games I can't play anywhere else except on a PlayStation. So that's why to me it's always there. Um, what is the next movie you're going to watch? I'm going to watch Baywatch and Captain Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the Caribbean. However, I forgot to mention this, guys. Again, next week I will be gone for the weekend, for Memorial Day weekend. There will be no Mobile Weekly next weekend. I will be gone. I'm going to go on a nice little vacation with my wife to San Francisco from Friday to Monday. So it'll be a nice little getaway for us, and I will not have a show next week. So I did want to remind you guys about that. No show this next week. When will Bluetooth headphones switch to Bluetooth 5.0? I believe we will get our first Bluetooth 5.0 headphones this year. And yeah, they're going to go up to 300 feet, which is insane. I can't wait for Bluetooth 5.0. You have quick settings on the normal S8 that's not available on the S8 Plus. Oh, that is true. I always disable quick settings, so I never really paid attention to it. But I mean, I have the regular settings, but I don't have anything else besides that. How much is that battery pack that you have? I don't know how much it is now. Oh, this one will come out tomorrow. I think it's $29. What was I reading now? Is the S8 worth upgrading from the S7 Edge? I feel like the S8 has a lot of looks, but hate placement of the fingerprint scanner. I won't use the iris scanner or the face unlock. I mean, look, is it better than the S7 Edge? Yes, in every way the S8's better than the S7 Edge. Can I change the fingerprint scanner placement? No, I can't. I can tell you do get very used to it. However, iris unlock is so good and it's more secure than a fingerprint. So I got used to it right away. I use my iris scanner to unlock almost every single time. Is the Exynos S8 better than the Snapdragon model? Yes. Overall, it's a faster speed in every benchmark test and most speed tests, even on like phone buffs test. But not by much this time around. I have seen the different reviews on the S8 and the sort menu with the ability to add shortcut settings in the settings menu on the S8. The S8 Plus doesn't have. But I mean, I have the ability to change the grid and to change the order, and I have ones that I can add only nearby, but I've added other ones already too. So I'm not sure. This is all my S8 Plus, so I'm not sure which other ones that I'm missing. But I'm not saying that I might be missing them. I might. I just never noticed because I don't have an S8. Funimation has dubbed episodes on Dragon Ball Z Super on their website, but yeah, don't you have to pay for it? It's like a certain amount a month. Ricky, would you agree that Samsung phone sales are dominating and Google is finding ways to swing back? I don't think they will swing back, quite frankly. But but I think that Google's going to try to sell their Pixel. But again, my big thing was last year, I don't think the Pixel XL would have sold anywhere near the amount that it sold if the Note 7 didn't have its issues. If the Note 7 had been a successful phone, no, it wouldn't have done. I don't think it would have done anywhere near that. Can you try to review the LG Tone Studio? We do have the LG Tone Free. We will be reviewing those, unboxing those, and that will be the next giveaway, guys, for next month in June. So I'm going to be unboxing those later this week, and that'll be one of the giveaways for June. Deciding to buy an unlocked SA Plus on 5/24. Should I wait for the Note 8 or the OnePlus 5? I mean, the S8 Plus is the best current phone right now. Will the Note and the OnePlus 5 be better? Could be. They're going to be coming out later, so they have more things most likely. It depends. Do you think it would been nice if Samsung would have given customers the option to decide either to delete or uninstall an update? I think that would be nice to be able to go back. My friend, for instance, he's very techie. And as soon as Android Nougat went to his Note 5, he went back within the day. He did not survive 24 hours with that update. He hated it so much. It had made so many issues on his phone. And he went back. Obviously, he knows how to do that. But yeah. And he just went back to he installed the Samsung version of the phone. So he didn't want to change anything else. He just wanted the old version back. I've seen Alien Covenant. It was a pretty good movie. I wish it had more action scenes. Yeah, I was never that big of a fan of Aliens, so I just did not see it. Yeah, I don't know. I thought about seeing it 3 times this weekend, but all the times I was like, and I heard just like okay reviews on it, so I didn't really want to see it that much. Wow, a vacation. That sounds pretty sweet. Hopefully you have a great time. Yeah, I need a break, guys. I definitely need this break, so that'll be great. You said Apple has 20% of the market, but I see them so many people's hands. Think that's kind of questionable. No, it's not questionable. You've seen in probably a certain country, but it's a fact. It's not alternative facts. It's a fact. Apple has less than 20% of all smartphone market share. That's a fact. They have gone up as high as 28, I believe, in the past. But total year over year, Apple is only 20%. Again, they push anywhere from 15% to 25% on average. But that's it. Android far outsells them. Far outsells them. Now, Samsung itself outsells Apple all around the world. But Apple, in terms of a single unit phone, typically is almost always the top seller. So, like, if you talk about one phone outselling everything else, yeah, Apple usually does it. But if you're talking about a company selling phones, Apple's never been anywhere near the top, ever. Oh, I thought you said quick settings. Sorry, I thought you said quick settings, not the settings menu. So yeah, I don't have the 3 dots in my settings, so you're saying that the S8 has that. That's kind of interesting. I don't know why that would be, and what option's that. Now, are you sure that's not by carrier? Because see, some carriers allow you to have a scrolling this way, and that's a carrier difference, not a phone difference. You could be right. I've never noticed that. So yeah, I don't have 3 dots in there. I have the search function. So yeah. Rigsby, guys. We got to make Rigsby happen somehow. It's an inside joke if you didn't watch last week's show. Rigsby is the future. Do you know? Did you know that you can disable Bixby by downloading Package Disabler on the Play Store? I did not know that would actually disable it. I thought that wouldn't actually disable Bixby. That's really curious. So if you can, that's awesome. I will check that out. Thanks, Eric. Any app or mobile game you couldn't do without? Any app that I couldn't do without? SwiftKey, Nova, HD widgets. Um, those are the one. Google Keep is another one I use all the time. Must have apps for the S8 are I did that on a video, and those are the ones that I use on a day to day basis. Will the home button icon burn into the S8 Plus AMOLED display? No, because it's very dim lit, so I don't think it will ever do it. Maybe after a year, though. Who knows? Very true. I thought the payment would needed for newer episodes, just not the older ones. Sorry about that. It's been a long time since I've had a subscription for Funimation. Yeah, no, I've thought about doing the subscription just to see it, but again, I haven't had time. I haven't had a vacation. I haven't had any time off, so yeah, I haven't had any time to do anything. Um, when you have an update lingering on your phone and you receive another one, will it kick out the old update? Usually, actually, it just updates both. It puts rolls both into the update, but it depends. Make a Rigsby app. Make it one of those that use the Bixby button. I wish if you know anyone that could develop an app, please let me know, because I've been wanting to develop an app actually for a long time, but I just don't have the resources. And as techie as I am, I cannot design apps. The language is just not for me. So yeah, if you have anyone that can design an app, please send them my way, and I would definitely love to make a Rigsby app just for you guys, and I would like to make another app that I've wanted to do for a while. Alright guys, I think we're going to call that a show. We are in an hour and a half. You guys kept me for a little bit longer than usual. Alright guys, again, thank you always so much for watching. Make sure you give a like, thumbs up before you leave. And again, there will be no Mobile Weekly show next week, so make sure to remember that. Alright guys, thank you again so much as always for watching. I should have lots of fun. Follow me on Instagram to check out all my photos that I'll shoot in San Francisco at the YouTube Tech Guy right there. At the YouTube Tech Guy. Follow me on Instagram, and I will do lots of photos over there. And when I get back, we'll be doing the monthly giveaway, because that will be at the end of the month. So we'll have our monthly giveaway then. Alright guys, thank you again as always so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.